Hey, this is Swagger starting a Terraria guide. What I'm going to try to do here is go through kind of part by part, and I'll tell you what achievements I'm going to get along the way, and then just kind of build stuff and go through kind of a let's play, but at the same time with the goal of getting all the achievements accomplished. So the first thing we need to do is build a shelter, so we're going to get a lot of wood. And this was the hardest. The instructions in the tutorial for the shelter were garbage. It's just like, oh, lots of walls and a ceiling, and I'm like, what the fuck? And so pretty much you just use the wood straight up as blocks, and you need a floor and a ceiling, and then you create wood panels, which is a wood wall. And right now I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, let's find a flatter place to go, but I'm not going to find one. And I will also say that this first video is in a different world. I started in a very large one, and then just reading online and listening to people, they said you don't really want to do that. You want to just do small, and that's all you really need. So this one's on its own, but I got the achievement pop for Home Sweet Home, which is really just building your first shelter. And the guide's like, oh, you got a shelter? That's cool. I'm going to go ahead and come on in and live in your house free, rent free. I'm like, whatever, dude. So we're going to get this, chop down these trees here, and then we'll build our first shelter. And it's real easy. Again, you got to have a base that's at least 10 wide, and that can include the wall. And also you need a ceiling and a door and a table, either a table, which you can build, or you need a work table, which you're going to need anyway to build other things. So, and a light source. So we are going to have to take out some enemies also. But you can see it go into cursor mode, which is clicking the right stick, so that you can just place the floor. And again, I'm going to make this one a lot bigger than you need to make it. But just keep going across. There we go. I gotta say, I really like this. I'm not a huge Minecraft fan, but I like Minecraft. And so I think this is just interesting because there's just so much more to build. And I like the fact that there's bosses. Not so much a story, but there is a progression. And there's just a lot more armor and stuff like that. There is no peaceful mode, so you do have to be wary. But during the day, there's not many enemies. So we're leaving a 3x1 space there to put a door in. But first we're going to have to make the workbench, which you can see is 10 wood, and wood's very cheap. And then from the workbench, we can now make a door and a table, and a chair, I'm sorry. Put the door in. I'm too close to it. And you do have to have the wall above, so if you want a door on the other side, you got to cut out the 3, which I do. Then we'll make a chair. Boom. And then we got to, how you make a torch is you need slime. You need gel from the slime, so I'm like, whoops, I threw my sword. That's not what I meant to do. Get out of my house, slime. There we go. And you got a gel and some money out of that. And with that, we can make torches. You're going to want lots of torches. And then just place them like in the corner. Somewhere on the wall. I usually place it. This one I place right there, but I usually place it at the top corner. And then we got to go into walls. And you can make any type of wall you want. We're going to make wood. And it takes a lot of them. You don't really need 100% coverage. I guess kind of OCD that I am, that I want 100% coverage. So you can get away with some spaces not being 100% clean. And there's a menu when you go into the build menu. If you right click, the far tab will be houses. And when you're standing in a room, you can check if it's valid or not. Like this one's not going to be valid because you do have to have at least coverage, like all those middle sides there. And I'll show you here that it's going to say invalid. So we're going to the housing, and then you just X there. And you saw check housing, not valid. So we're going to clear up all these holes. Doesn't have to be perfect. I wouldn't have to do those. I wouldn't have to redo those black areas. But I'm kind of OCD about that, so I think I cover those up. So then you check and you go, yep, this housing is suitable. Again, we got walls, a floor, a ceiling, a table, a chair, a light source, and a door. And it'll just take a little bit. and the guide will move in, and then we'll get our first achievement of the actual game. And I'm going to go take out some more gels here and just wait for this to pop. Hey, that wasn't very nice. Slime. And you are pretty weak to begin with. So we're just going to get our achievement here for this for Home Sweet Home. And we're going to start getting some copper and some stone so that we can make a furnace and do some other things. And the next video, we'll work on the next set of achievements. We're really just clearing out here. And again, like I said, that's going to be a different world, but it's pretty similar to what I've done here. I've only just made a shelter when I start the series. Yay, get lots of stuff. Oh, a fluffy bunny is in our house. So obviously our next step is to survive the first night for that achievement, which pretty much means you want to stay in your shelter. And I am really just learning this, so I'm like, that's a wall one, that's not going to do anything. But there we go, Home Sweet Home. So there's our first, after the tutorials, there's really our first achievement. And there you go, we'll get to part 2 where we will get some more achievements in the next video.